Sometimes, in the world of chess, certain words carry stories that go beyond the board. Leningrad is one of them. When you pronounce it, the imagination evokes snow-covered cities, echoes of difficult times, or images of resistance. But when the word appears on an analysis table, what truly emerges is a combative scheme, a defense that does not shy away from battle and is unlike any other, the Leningrad variation of the Dutch defense. In club games, many players seek the safety of familiar structures. Others prefer the calm equality of classical responses to the queen's pawn. However, anyone choosing the Dutch knows perfectly well they are entering different territory. From the very first move, with one f5 challenging white without permission, it is understood that the game will not be a walk in the park, but a battle where every piece must work. The story begins. White opens with d4, solid, classic, stable, a move that claims territory and prepares central control. Black responds without hesitation, f5. It is like a declaration of intentions. There will be no symmetrical development nor impersonal game. Black wants imbalance's initiative and to make white think. White often replies with g3, a modern and very serious move. Those who play g3 are not improvising. They are building a fianchetto to control the long diagonal and hinder black's natural development. After nf6, g6, and big 7, both sides reveal their cards. No matter how many times this position is repeated, each game seems different because plans diverge and ideas change according to timing and style. Castling arrives early for both players. Black plays 0-0 with that mix of calm and danger, because in the Dutch, castling does not always mean full safety. Sometimes it is preparation to attack weak squares on the king's flank. After d6, the structure seems to settle, and white places a knight on c3, building a spacious and flexible center. And here the essence of the Leningrad reveals itself. The resulting position is its initial landscape, the starting point from which everything can happen. Black has multiple paths, as if facing a board full of closed doors, each promising a different type of fight: c6, nc6, or qe8. The last, qe8, is a favorite of many specialists and the protagonist of this narrative. The queen on e8, a silent move. At first glance, qa8 seems modest, even timid. The queen steps back, leaves its natural square, and hides behind the pawn structure. But as so often in chess, appearances deceive. The move is flexible, deep, and full of venom. From e8, the queen supports the e5 advance, reinforces the king's flank, and opens unexpected paths toward f7, h5, or even g6, depending on the game's needs. White, loyal to the central idea, usually prepares e4. For that, a rook is placed on e1, threatening to open the center. But black is not willing to allow white more space for free. That is why qf7 appears, a move that serves a double purpose. Directly preventing e4 while also keeping a watchful eye on the c4 pawn. The game then acquires contained tension, as if both sides are taking a deep breath before the clash. White often responds with b3, defending c4 and preparing the bishop's development via b2, a logical move. But in the Leningrad, every logic carries a calculated reply. Black jumps with ne4, an aggressive, forceful, almost insolent move. The knight on e4 threatens f2, troubles white, and forces precise thinking. Capturing it would be disastrous. F for e4 would expose enormous pressure on f2 and the f3 knight, and the possibility of q for f2 begins to loom. The black plan, an army in motion. While white decides how to handle the pressure, black continues developing pieces with internal logic, following its own rhythm. NC6 appears to reinforce central pressure and prepare the long-awaited E5. Sometimes black advances H6, G5, with the queen on H5 or F7, or reorganizes pieces with less direct maneuvers like C6, BD7, and A6, even ideas of B5 if the position allows. The Leningrad is never rigid. It is an organism in constant transformation. White must stay alert, because every black move has a second intention. D5, for example, is the most feared positional break for black and at the same time the most modern. When D5 appears, black responds with another key move, NA6. This leap is essential in contemporary theory. It reinforces control over E5, threatens C5, and prepares uncomfortable pressure on the queen side. If white develops with ND4, black remains calm, BD7, then C6, and the structure stabilizes once again. The game becomes a maneuvering battle where pawns become anchors and pieces seek decisive diagonals. A story of breakthroughs. The game often reaches a critical point when white pushes B4, expelling the knight. Black remains unfazed. NE4 reappears, equally dangerous as before, equally difficult to ignore. If white captures, black recaptures as needed. If not, continuing development, black has the green light for the star move, E5. When A5 appears on the board, the plot accelerates. The center opens and black achieves what was sought from the first moves: activity, blazing diagonals, pressure on multiple fronts. White may still try D for A6 en passant, but even then black continues with a clear plan. The bishop takes on E6, points at C4, and development completes with surprising naturalness. It is as if all black pieces had been waiting for this precise moment to fit perfectly into place. And then something curious happens. Although based on a seemingly irregular structure, the Leningrad gives black a kind of dynamic harmony difficult to describe. The black position begins to vibrate, as if the board tilts toward the flank where the attack is being prepared. The Dutch defense, particularly the Leningrad variation, is not for players seeking absolute safety. It is a defense that demands character. Courage is needed to play F5 on the first move, to place the queen on E8, to tolerate structures that sometimes appear fragile. But that is the charm of the Leningrad. Those who know it understand that risks turn into opportunities, weaknesses hide deep tricks, and its aggressive spirit can unsettle even very well-prepared players. Studying this variation as a narrative, one sees each black piece as a character. The E4 knight is the tireless attacker, the queen from E8 or F7, the silent strategist, the G7 bishop, a sentinel watching the entire diagonal, the A6 knight, seemingly criticized yet crucial at the right moment. Each has a defined role, contributing to a story where initiative rarely stays with white for long. The Leningrad never offers a closed story. It does not conclude with "and black wins," nor with predictable equality. Its outcome depends on human decisions, calculation precision, and strategic intuition. Every time a player sits at the board and chooses one F5, they open a door to a scenario where creativity rules, and the final result is written move by move. Something remains constant: the feeling of entering a living narrative, rich and full of possibilities. That is why the Leningrad variation is not just an opening, it is a journey. If you want to keep learning new defenses and openings in the best possible way, subscribe to BlackChess Academy. The link is in the description.